featuring legends Common and Pete Rock, Patti LaBelle, and De La Soul. Also R&B stars Lucky Day, Leon Thomas, and Leela James. Jazz greats Branford Marsalis, Pedrito Martinez, and the Baylor Project, and of course funk masters John Medeski, the SOS Band, and Carl Denson. Plus Maddie artist in residence, STL's very own Keon Harold. Enjoy live music, art exhibits, carnival rides, food trucks, and more. Hear from thought leaders across music, art, tech, and innovation, and see community curation by Shakespeare Festival of St. Louis, the Walls Off Washington, Poetry Motion, Pack Dance, and more. Meet us at the intersection of art and life in the heart of Midtown St. Louis. Purchase festival passes now at MaddieSTL.org.
The Lou Information Station presents Art City Now.
Hey guys, welcome into the show. Glad you are with us. We are kickstarting this Thursday show right now at 6:06. It is September 11th, also known as 9/11. We're here for you today. Glad you're jumping on the show. We were just want to have it opened up for you all day. We're here till 8 o'clock. Anything and everything that you guys want to talk about, St. Louis related, what's happening in the world that revolves, dare I say, around St. Louis. X, YouTube, Face. Oh, yeah, we got some traffic news that just popped up too. Don't want to be driving this morning out there. Wouldn't be a St. Louis morning without an accident on one of our few highways, right? Gosh, that is a bummer. I-64, right out of the gate this morning, I see something happening, Projo.
Well, 64
Timberlake.
doesn't surprise me.
Well, they just put it out. Timberlake Manor. Let me see. I just had it right here. But let's go back. I was just like, okay, I just had the traffic update. And then it just disappeared. If you see something on Fox 2, let me know.
Okay.
You might be able to see it. Sometimes they have the video cameras, they have the traffic cameras. I just didn't know which direction. 4064 Timberlake Manor. There was blockage if you're headed that way. Some sort of blocking, I believe. But we are here. Art City Now. Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. You know what we do, all St. Louis, all the time. The topics, the issues, the things that are going on throughout the day. We're grateful that you're with us. And we're doing the best that we can. Okay. 9/11. It's the 24th anniversary today. 24th anniversary. 9/11. 24 years later, nobody should ever forget what happened to this country, sucker punched. The thousands of people who lost their life in the World Trade Center, New York City. Where were you? Those questions that still go on. Do people forget? Is it that easy to remember?
I know 24 years later, I can remember everything in detail.
Where were you?
I got I woke up to a phone call from a friend, and then I sat there and watched it on TV for like 2 months.
Yeah, no kidding. Just makes you, I mean, I think about all of that, and it's kind of already, if you don't have a sad heart today because of the big thing that happened yesterday, then you add, and we'll get into that, then you add then you add 9/11 on top of it. It's just like, okay. We open up our lines today. We talk St. Louis all the time with everything that we can. And we'd love you guys to jump in on the chat line as well as you do. When it comes to the show, it's 10 after 6. It's 9/11. Greg, we appreciate you jumping in. National days today. Stand-up paddleboarding day. Okay, National Hot Cross Bun Day. I don't even know what that means. Are you okay day? Nah, I'm all right.
Well, yesterday was, what was it, Suicide Prevention Day or something like that. And then today's Are You Okay?
National Make Your Bed Day. National School Picture Day. Those are the days that we have. It's also, I guess, more important than anything, it's 9/11 Day. Never forget. Which brings me into that situation of what happened yesterday. And we'll get into it. I mean, my phone was lighting up yesterday, and even up until the point that I went to bed with the Charlie Kirk news. We open up this show for anything and everything. We're not a political show. We're not trying to be, and we're not going to be. But we will talk Charlie Kirk and open it up for you guys and anybody else because of the situation that revolves around Charlie Kirk. Transcends politics in regards to what happened yesterday. And what's happening in this country with certain groups and people. And we'll break it down. There's a lot to. You don't have to watch this show if you don't like it. We love it when you do. We love it when you participate. You don't have to like me as a host. But as Projo knows, and as Projo's heard me talk over the years, and I haven't brought any politics to this show, and I'm not going to. But as Projo knows, one of my favorite people in the world was assassinated yesterday.
You know what? And after knowing you, like, he's become one of my favorite people too. Like, you're the one that kind of turned me on to him, and then I started watching him and became a devoted fan.
Yeah, I'm glad you did before his life was taken. Humble. I want to be around humble people. Just humble, just truly humble people. If somebody's intelligent, that's great too. If somebody's hardworking, that's great too. But there's something about being around humble people, especially in the year 2025. Truly humble. It's very difficult to trust people because people will stab you in your back over and over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that happened with Charlie Kirk, I mean, that rocked. Yeah, it's somber day. That rocked me. That rocked me yesterday, and it transcends politics. Because there's so much more. And by the way, we'll break it all down. There's still lots of that story that's still developing, which is bizarre to me. It's still freaking developing.
And don't worry, we will not be showing the actual footage of him getting shot.
No.
I think everybody's seen that enough.
No. Well, no, some of the videos were taken down already.
Well, it's a good thing I saved them. That way they don't go away forever, you know.
But we'd love your opinions and how you feel and where we are. And they were taken down, I guess, like Charlie coming from Thompson on the chat line. In America. And it's one thing for these things to happen, which we'll get into, but that's another thing for how people respond. I guess I was just Did you see what happened with TMZ?
Mm-mm.
When they were showing the video, there were people laughing when they were talking about it. But then they came back and said, well, they were watching a car chase. They were laughing. They didn't know. And
Mm.
it's like, oh, okay.
Well, I heard there was people actually there who witnessed the shooting who actually celebrated after it happened, like as it was happening.
I saw another guy go to college campuses getting opinions and it was young, liberal men and women going, yeah, this is good news. I mean, that's what scares me about our country. But it's not, I mean, there's been a transformation, but at the same point in time, I just wonder where parents have been for the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
This whole country has a mental disorder.
There is. And we're Arch City now, and we're all St. Louis all the time. We take you from 6 to 8 a.m. every day, and we appreciate you jumping in on the show. Thank you for coming in, talking with us, listening to the show. Let's just let's try to have a good day, a decent day, all the way around. And we appreciate it when you jump in and talk with us on the show. Okay. Well, it's 9/11 day, first of all. 24 years ago, talked about sucker punch. This country was sucker punched. Thousands of people lost their lives. Still a lot of questions surrounding it, which bums me out as well. And what it led to and why did people have to die on a day like that? There's always going to be those kinds of questions in life. And we can't forget. And there were heroes that day, up and down and all around, all throughout New York City, on planes and in buildings. And this day is for them. And it's ironic that we have this day on a Thursday, 9/11 at 6:16. They were also talking about another horrible sucker punch, and that comes with the man named Charlie Kirk. What I was talking about when I told you Pro Joe, as you heard me talk about, there were two political pundits who I love. There was a female and a male.
Mm-hmm.
I always told you. I came across Charlie Kirk many years ago, because I just respected, and I'm sorry, and people can get on me and not like it, or whatever. There's been something in my heart when people really try to homeschool, and he's homeschooled. And my ex-wife and I, when we moved to St. Louis, we looked at the option of homeschooling. We did when I was moving here. And I came across Charlie Kirk talking about homeschooling and the benefits of it and how intelligent you can be. And then he's proved over the years just how super intelligent he was, whether you agree with his politics or not. We're not talking politics. We're talking the man. Just how freaking intelligent he was. And then I saw, and so many times people try to go away from maybe who they are or a bad upbringing or mistakes in their life instead of just leaning into it. He grew up poor, didn't have a lot of money, was homeschooled, had a lot of love. And then I saw him come up with an idea to help change and educate college kids because nobody was doing it. Nobody was trying to just give another side. And that's what America's about, free speech, right? People should have an opportunity to talk. Whether you agree with somebody or not, they have a right to talk. And that agrees to people who don't agree with Charlie Kirk. But the other thing about it is never preached, never talked violence, ever. No violence, nothing. Nothing of the sort. Education.
Matter of fact, he condemned it.
Education. Let's have talks. Details. I'm a detail guy, and sometimes that clashes with people. I've seen in my life. I want details. Let's have an educational talk. If there's a disagreement, if there is a uncertainty, talk. Most relationships and issues in life go bad because of a lack of communication, because of one party or one person not wanting to truly get to the bottom of things and break it all out. A lot of times because they're hiding something, or because they don't want it to get out, or because they're uneducated. And those things can happen. And we're appreciating people giving us their experiences from 9/11, yesterday, so forth, anything all throughout the St. Louis area. What was weird and scary from my experience from 9/11, according to Greg from the chat line, I had tickets to fly to DC on September 12th with my then wife. They got canceled. So we drove to DC for her father's wedding. It was eerily quiet with the occasional military aircraft. The wedding was held on the bay in a park in D.C., Maryland. So saw many news vans going to D.C. and many when we drove back. A what if lingers. What if the 12th instead? And that was my plane going to D.C. or coming home. Yeah, I agree. Not if the 12th. That's a good point, Greg. And I appreciate you sharing that. What ifs from 9/11? What ifs yesterday? As we break down what happened, because I went to a couple different places. It's all people were talking about in St. Louis. Charlie Kirk. It's all people were talking about around the country and also around the world. And what happens now? And we're talking about a man who was assassinated yesterday, and we'll get to the details, but allegedly the shooter has not been found yet. And if we're thinking that this is one shooter, again, one person involved, let's think again. Just like when the president was shot the first time, which the FBI confirmed did happen. It wasn't a hoax. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't a plot. I know people who get on certain sides of political issues don't like to see things. A good friend of mine told me yesterday, I'm really worried that the right did this to Charlie Kirk to try to create an atmosphere of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you really think that?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, my strong conservative friends are concerned that this was another deep state issue. And we already know Democrats say there is a deep state in the country. Democrats say it. Bill Maher, who hates Donald Trump. So yeah, there's a deep state in this country that's trying to tear it down. I said, well, my strong conservative friends think that it was the deep state trying to do this to try to tear this country down and cause chaos.
The shot was a pro shot, and they got away too clean.
Yeah.
This was a professional thing. There was experienced people did this.
And this is, and when you look at this, there's a lot that we'll get into over the next hour, 40 minutes. And we're just breaking it down. You already know what happened, or most people know. Conservative pundit, teacher, speaker, creator of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk, was assassinated in front of thousands of people at a college in Utah. And a lot of who I am and how I broadcast and how I live my life, in a lot of senses, is Charlie Kirk. He is. And I've been unabashful about my respect for this man. Have I agreed with everything that he has said? No. But I love humble, hardworking people who will meet people face to face who disagree with them and have educational talks. Facts, details, truth. Not talking about people or doing things behind somebody's back, but going out there. Because we all know how it is, especially in the St. Louis area. There's something called St. Louis nice. There is. People nice to your face. They'll spread rumors about you behind your back and then say things. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And maybe it happens in other places around the country as well. But Charlie Kirk, a 31-year-old man, married with 2 young kids. That picture that we're showing, that's the one that gets me. I literally tried to like every single picture on Facebook that I could possibly see yesterday that somebody posted. And it blew my mind how many people were supporting Charlie Kirk. Oh, I mean, old, young, black, white, whatever race, all over Facebook.
All over social media. The only place that it's really kind of missing was TikTok. I was flipping through TikTok, hardly anything.
I didn't even get to TikTok to check it out.
It's just kind of strange. It's almost like it didn't happen on TikTok.
Yeah, but TikTok was very influential for helping Donald Trump win the presidency, according to research post-election. So that's an interesting one for me. But when you break this whole thing down and where we are in America and Charlie Kirk, that's a man. And the last time I checked, in America, we do have free speech.
Mm-hmm.
And you're allowed to say what you want to say. And if you don't like it, deal with it. But if you're somebody who has thought that this was decent or good because you don't like the man's opinion on politics, I haven't seen a lot of it. but I've seen a little bit of it. There's a man that I know that tried to turn this into a gun debate on Facebook, a St. Louis lawyer. Yeah, I guess you guys are ready to talk about getting rid of guns now? And I'm like, oh my God.
As a matter of fact, this is what
Know your audience.
Charlie Kirk warned and
Know your
actually
audience, know your time.
said they're coming for our freedom of speech and our guns.
So anyway, that's the political side of things. I mean, this is a man, a wife, kids. And I love courageous people, humble, hardworking people. And that's who Charlie Kirk is. That's who he was. And that's when I started the podcast broadcasting. So I loved him. I was and Projo knows this. I've talked for years about Charlie Kirk being the most intelligent person that I'd ever come across when it came to getting points across. Whether you agree or disagree, how intelligent he was, showing that you don't need a college degree. Sorry to my college professors and Mizzou. I love you. And I'm glad that I got my degrees at Mizzou. I'm glad I did. But he showed that you don't have to have a college degree to be more intelligent than people who went to college. To be able to sit down and talk with people. Facts, details, facts, not fiction, truth over feelings first. And that's where all of that goes when we talk about Charlie and what happened and where we go today. Yes, the video was sickening. One of the most disturbing videos I can ever remember seeing.
Many videos, different angles. And
as soon as I saw it, I went, I was like, he's going to be with the Lord today. There's no doubt. As soon as I saw it, and I went, okay. And then a friend of mine who's with a federal agency, a 3-letter agency, texted me and about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes before it came out public and said, it's on our wires. It's official. It won't be out for a while, but it's official. And sure enough, that was the case. Your thoughts, your feelings, Charlie, I appreciate you jumping in. It's just such a, very disturbing.
Just the way that he could explain things. I mean, I don't know. There was something different about how thorough he was, and he could get you to understand exactly what the issue was.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that I've noticed, and as we jump around on the subject, a lot of times in life, I love to be challenged with truth. I want to learn. I want to know. You keep an open mind and an open head. But there are so many people in this world, especially this country and the state and the city, who have closed-mindedness. Just because you don't agree with somebody else, you want to say that they're mean or hateful or bad or not a kind person. Maybe that's you. Maybe you've dealt with this. I don't know. That's where there's no place for it. There's just no place for that ever. Ever. And that's what Charlie Kirk was about. Greg says he found the truth and logic in most things debatable. Yeah. Truth and logic. Fact, not fiction. Those are the things. And this is a massive story. And then you see how, Charlie Kirk was very well known before this, but I was blown away just from a positive standpoint of the impact that him losing his life yesterday had. I had no idea this many people had supported him. Gosh, we're already done with our first break.
I know.
This is going to be a fast show. Thanks for jumping in the show. We're Arch City now. We will cover some events. It's 9/11 day, Charlie Kirk Day. Also, we got some events that are going on in St. Louis. Cardinals lost again last night. We'll get into all that. We are your Lou information station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. Don't go anywhere. Jump back in the show. I want to have good conversations. That's what this is about. Serious things. Not everything is all cookies and lemonade poolside, which we try to be every morning from 6 to 8 a.m. Projo's alongside. I'm Vic Faust. We'll be right back with more Arch City Now right after this.
The Lou Information Station, a whole new way to enjoy content, created just for those of us in the St. Louis area. It's a whole new way to advertise and promote your business. Reach out and find out just how different we are. If you're tired of one-sided advertising offerings, or your traditional media rep trying to shove digital marketing down your throat, visit luinfo.com and click on advertising. Or email partnerships@luinfo.com for more information.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown & Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown & Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown & Crouppen now.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
LouInfo.com news headlines brought to you by Brown & Crouppen. GetBC.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. A 5-week strike at Boeing Defense in the St. Louis area may soon be over. A tentative agreement's been reached between Boeing and the Machinists Union, and the union will vote on Friday. The proposed 5-year deal includes a 24% wage increase and a $4,000 ratification bonus. St. Louis police are asking for help identifying a man who stole from a man in a wheelchair August 25th. Suspect ran off after stealing a briefcase along Washington Avenue. Police have released a description and are urging anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. The medical examiner's office has identified Benjamin Bourbon of DeSoto as the man who died after being struck by a pickup while he was walking on the road on Highway 21 Tuesday morning. Missouri's fall colors may not be too vibrant. Experts say ongoing drought conditions are stressing trees across the state, and instead of vibrant reds and oranges, many leaves will turn brown or fall early. It'll be the 6th straight year Missouri has faced fall drought conditions. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at luinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Now, LouInfo.com weather, presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports, anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. Really hot through the upcoming weekend. We're hitting 90 for the afternoon high today and sunny. Overnight looks clear, mid-60s, and then we're in the mid-90s for the afternoon high on Friday and lots of sunshine. For the upcoming weekend, we're expecting sunshine on Saturday, slight chance of shower Sunday, and 90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at LouInfo.com.
This is Mizzou wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr.
And I'm Mizzou linebacker Josiah Trotter.
When we hit the field, we have each other's back.
And off the field, we got James Carlton, State Farm covering us.
Thanks, fellas. Nothing beats college football season, and nothing beats saving money. Just by getting a quote from our office and mentioning Mizzou, we'll make a donation to support Mizzou's will to win push on your behalf. No strings attached.
So you're supporting the team just by checking your rates. Doesn't get any easier than that.
It's so easy. Check them out online at carltoninsurance.net. MIZZOU.
Buddy.
What do you say, buddy?
Man, life comes at you fast. 1 minute you're cruising home, the next flashing lights in your rear view.
And that's when you need backup. With the Legal Buddy app, you can connect to a local attorney in seconds.
Seconds? Not waiting days for a callback?
Nope, right away. DWI, car accident, criminal charge, traffic ticket, Legal Buddy's got your back.
So it's like having a lawyer in your pocket.
Exactly. Someone ready to step in the moment you need them, no matter the situation.
That's peace of mind.
That's Legal Buddy.
We're always going to be buddies, right?
All right, where do I get this?
Just download the Legal Buddy app at LegalBuddyApp.com. Register and use code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Nice. Tickets, accidents, legal trouble, you're covered.
The Legal Buddy app, always on your side. Download it today. Enter code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Buddy, it don't get much better than this.
Yep. Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust. on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. This is Arch City Now. I'm Vic Faust, Projo alongside as well. 6:34 is the time. It is 9/11. We are taking your stories from 9/11, of course. Where you were, what you remember from that day on this more of a somber 9/11 day. Anything happening in the St. Louis area, what you're talking about. And obviously, people may not be talking a lot about 9/11. We're in the 24th anniversary. I hope it never goes away. We can't forget. It's one of those reasons why I've always thought horrible videos should stick around. I'm torn. We talk about terrible videos and I'm like, why not? If you don't see videos, you forget. If you don't see a remembrance of what things were, you'll forget. A generation later, people will forget. Am I lost on that?
No, or the feeling or the effect behind it will dilute over time as well.
And that's why when we saw the videos, I mean, look at JFK when he was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
Those videos ring out. Those videos make you think. Those videos make you remember. When you don't have videos, when you don't have accounts in 2025, I think it lessens something. I know many videos of what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday, as we've been talking about, were pulled. There's still some around, people saving. They're gross, they're disgusting, but they also give you the magnitude of what was thought out, planned out by multiple people. One person could not have done it. Impossible. The whole setup. I've talked to some of my special security, let's just say, for the White House. Some people I know. Secret Service. I have some friends who've already told me, can't do it by yourself. Impossible. The entire thing was, and not to get conspiratorial and rabbit holes, but there's a lot going on. A lot. So we're talking about Charlie. We're talking about 9/11. A couple quick updates. It's difficult balancing the fun that we like to have on the show and getting you up and running, but with real tragic things that are going on in the world and a variety of branches that go off that tree, especially in our area. But the Cardinals lost last night, got swept in Seattle. Played a late one if you stayed up 13 innings. Actually, it probably ended right as we were coming in this morning. 4-2 was the final there. Also, NFL back to action tonight. The Redskins playing at the Packers. That looks like a really, really good battle on Prime. Washington 1-0. Green Bay 1-0. By the way, the Chiefs are playing this week. They host the Eagles, 3:25 Sunday at Arrowhead. Chiefs desperately need to win. You do not want to start off 0-2. The Eagles won their first game, so they'll be playing to see what's going on from that standpoint. By the way, tickets are also on sale right now for the U.S. Figure Skating Championships that are coming to St. Louis in the next few months. So check that out. The tickets already went on sale. They went on sale yesterday, by the way. And this goes from June 7th through the 11th. Once again, June 7th through the 11th. It's a qualifying event for the U.S. figure skating ahead of the 2026 Olympic Games in Milan, Italy. So big thing coming to St. Louis, and with a lot of ice dancing, figure skating fans throughout the St. Louis area as well. Okay, back to what happened yesterday. And of course, we love it when you jump in on the chat line. X, Facebook, YouTube, you can join the conversations there, talk with us, get on the show, talk with others. When these things happen in life, a lot of people like to talk about what happened. Angry, upset, sad, whatever. Lots of emotions come to play. I was just rocked. I was rocked by what happened yesterday. I talked about it in the first hour in regards to these sorts of things that can happen. A 31-year-old man was literally unalived in front of thousands and thousands of people. And kids and a wife and a family and friends won't get to see their guy anymore. Good morning to you, Ben.
Most of the nation is traumatized this morning.
That's what I was shocked about. Shocked. I could not believe the amount of support. It gave me hope. There are those fringe people that you'll see on videos praising and wonder, but I don't think that's the sentiment of America. There are those idiots out there who will try to turn it into a gun debate now. I mean, and there are those idiots in St. Louis, idiots, flat out idiots. I know a flat out idiot lawyer who's been a friend of mine who is so lost trying to make it a gun debate.
I think
in St. Louis, like right after it happened.
I think that's the point.
And it's sad. I'm like, wait a second. We don't need to be doing politics. Everyone wants to, it's not about politics. It's about life and death. People need to be taught how to listen to people that they don't like. Keep an open mind, an open discussion about things.
Get your feelings in check.
Ben says disgusting comments on social media. Yeah, there are those people. And that's why you can't judge the entire Democrat Party because Charlie Kirk was a conservative pundit for those who were going after him, because I know way far too many Democrats who are traumatized as well by what happened.
Now, I have many Democrat friends on social media as well, and I would say that the majority of them were very, didn't condone it, were, completely disgusted by it.
There are those who are condoning.
I'd say the majority, of Democrats. I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, and I don't believe TMZ. TMZ had people laughing on a. They came back and tried to say, "Well, we're watching a video in the back," and
right.
I don't buy it. It's all right.
Exactly. I think that's the image that they want us to have. However, I know that the majority of Democrats, real Democrats out there.
And I saw a guy going out doing man on the street talks with people at college campuses, and all you saw were people, yeah, this is great. This is great. And I know there's those people out there, but all you have to do is look at the campus and you look at the 10, the 20, the 30,000 people that were showing up at every campus for Charlie Kirk. From the chat line, from our podcast platform, Greg says, crazy how as both 9/11 and yesterday progressed through the days, more and more info and media came to light. Different angles, different personal versions of the events in the era of the internet. It's how stories are told. It's exactly how stories are told. There are many, 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 many people who share stories with Charlie Kirk and where you go from here. And the sad thing is that when he was assassinated yesterday, they're allegedly were being told the quote, gunman, gun person, gun team, whatever you want to say, is still not in custody. There was a man on social media who was saying he did the quote shooting, but it wasn't him. An older guy, you may have seen it. That's the video that started to go out first. But at the end of the day, who are we as people? Who are we as a society that you disagree with a man? And there's more to this story too. And I'll take it a level deeper. You're talking about a guy who was respected and revered by all factions of the Republican Party. Sorry, all my Trump-loving fans too out there. There are lots of Republicans within that party that did not like Donald Trump. I'm just going to tell you, Donald Trump kind of blasted his way through. And it's like, you're on the Trump train or you're going to get run over. And we saw people try to go against him and his machine within that party, and they lost big. And then the ones that wanted to have a position ended up coming back and aligning themselves with him. You're talking about a 31-year-old who had the respect of like all factions, most all factions of the conservative Republican right. And then, guess how old you have to be to run for president?
It's in at 35?
35.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk was an icon, arguably the most impressive conservative voice there is, all at 31 years of age, because he's flat out brilliant. Another thing that I love about him, I talked about it during our first segment, mostly self-educated, mostly didn't need a college degree. I have a college degree. I'm not saying college degrees are bad. I'm just saying you had to homeschool guys one of the most intelligent people you'll ever meet. And I know you guys get on me. I've always been, you've heard me be a big proponent of homeschooling. I looked at it myself a few years ago. That's how I ended up knowing about Charlie Kirk before most everybody else knew about Charlie Kirk. The guy was super intelligent. And don't think for a second that there weren't talks or feelings or thoughts about him running for president in a few years.
I prayed when I found out he was shot, before I found out, the actual outcome. I prayed that he would overcome this and that he would be our next president.
Well,
and obviously,
Donald Trump was shot once. There was another attempt on his life at the golf course. Then you have another shooting now, and this one takes the life of a 31-year-old man with a wife and kids and hopes for a better future for America. And I've just always respected, revered, and loved those who are willing to talk with people and sit down with those who have a different opinion. And then there are those who tried to, initially out of the gate, MSNBC called him divisive. MSNBC did not have a good day. They tried to come back, and it's probably why their ratings are so damn low. Just treat people with respect, whether you agree or disagree or whatever. Just treat them with respect. Especially when when you're not agitated or instigated. MSNBC did fire their political contributor, Matthew Dowd, who's made a name for himself in politics over the years. Literally. Because he was literally blaming himself, maybe suggesting that he was responsible for his own death. Literally saying that. That's what I'm like, what? What? So obviously they fired him, as he should have been fired. I don't know how anybody could listen to him from a political standpoint any longer. Because somebody doesn't agree with what you say? No, sorry, that's not happening. And it can't happen. So you've got a 31-year-old man assassinated, no longer coming to his family. One of the strongest political voices in the country, all at the age of 31, talks of him running for president. I wouldn't want to debate him. You would not want to debate with Charlie Kirk. Arguably the best debater from a political standpoint we have ever seen. Whether you agree with what he was saying or not, how he would break out a topic and a subject. And I think it goes for any of us, whether we're Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever. Always keep an open mind. Listen. Have an interest to listen before you talk. Listen to what other people are saying, and then talk. And it's about facts and figures first, details first, and then you get into the other things. And just be truthful. Don't lie. Just be truthful. Truth is hard for a lot of people. People want to lie. Look you in your eye and lie. Look you in your eye and lie, and then act like they're angels and that they're victims. Too many people tried to do that with Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk is now a martyr. He is. Am I off base in saying that, Projo?
No.
The movement that we saw yesterday, the movement that will be going forward, the movement, it will continue to go. Sarah says, I just wish I could speak truth just half as well as Charlie could.
Right.
I get all flustered and tongue-tied, so I don't say anything. Start small. If you want to talk to people, just take your time, have a thought. Don't get it all at once. Just say a little bit. That's with anything in life. Reports. I used to teach public speaking to attorneys and doctors. They have continuing education money in their careers, and they have to continue to go to conferences. And it was shocking, Sarah, to me, how many doctors and lawyers did not know how to public speak. And it's like, wait a second, what? So Sarah, guess what? You're not alone. Don't worry. I remember I used to do lots of talks, and I would still get that energy in my stomach, and I would teach people, and it's that nervousness, it's energy. It's just once you learn to focus it and channel it, it's used for good. So don't bash yourself, Sarah. You can have confidence. It's one of those things where the more you do something, the better. And then the second part is, if you know your material in and out, you're going to be great. You'll do great.
I can relate with Sarah because it's hard for me to actually talk to people in person because it is hard for me to actually, word vomit. It happens all the time. We know from, the show. However, when I find myself commenting or talking or arguing with people in the comments on Facebook, that's where
Stay off Facebook and comments.
But that's where I can form my thought and everything and
But you
actually
don't
put it out.
you don't have open-minded people there.
No, of course not. But that's where I form a lot of my.
Okay, but it makes you feel good to do
It helps me hone my own
Okay.
thoughts to where I can actually speak them
I
in person.
digress. I apologize.
Right.
I've just always tried to keep Joe off social media.
Hey.
I'm like, stay away from social media commentary. But if it helps you and you explain it like that, then I get it.
It helps kind of hone the craft.
But here's the other thing, though. Paul brings up a great point here. Okay. This is where it gets very, very, very gray. Paul says, good morning. I know Paul's heart. He says, let's love one another. Correct. What does it mean to love one another?
What's that look like?
What does that look like? Does love mean lying to somebody? Because, well, I love them. Are you going to tell them the truth? Do you lie to someone you love or do you tell them the truth? And that's where it gets very interesting. That's where the debate can also come into play. Be real about it. It's easy to say, oh, why doesn't everybody just love everybody? Let's love everybody. Love means letting anybody do whatever they want. Does it? And that was part of the debates that Mr. Charlie Kirk was involved with so many people. Paul says truth. Love is truth. How can you ever have a relationship of any kind unless you have truth first? Truth, everything starts with truth. You must have truth before you can have respect, and you have to have respect before you can have love. You have to. You can't love somebody without truth. And how are you going to love somebody if you don't respect them? And you can't respect them if they're lying to you in the honor or the name or the mask of love. Greg says accepting our differences and respecting one another. But what does it mean to accept? You see, Greg, it's easy to say that. Does that mean that gets at the heart of what Charlie Kirk was doing? Iron sharpens iron, which is why I love debates. I love debates, true debates, the kind that Charlie Kirk was having on college campuses and the kind that he went to England and had in the last year, debating some of the most brilliant minds in the world when it came to topics and having truth. I mean, I've spoken in front of 15,000 people before, many times, and talked about different issues and felt like I was super damn confident and good at what I did. Yet I was half, if that, of what Charlie Kirk was. That's remembering his heart, remembering the brain, the education, and everything that they've been through.
If you didn't know who Charlie Kirk was before, or any, or his message, you're going to know now. And if there's one thing that comes out of this that's positive, is his word will be heard now.
Whether people like that or not, that's what's happening. And that's what people are talking about. Okay. I told you I have some contacts at higher levels of government. I told you about 30 minutes yesterday before it was announced, I was told. I mean, literally, it was maybe one of those, and I hate to say it, like a DOA situations. Because when you saw the significance of the shot, I think we knew, and how grotesque the video was. I was just told a 200 plus yard neck shot downward. This person says this person is at a higher level agency. Let's just put it that way. 200 plus yard neck shot downward means the shooter was super lucky. Like 1 in a million shot. Or he is a super pro.
Well, I believe that one.
The fact that they have no idea who it is yet, We're still looking for this shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's such a big story. Even for our show, Arch City Now, and we get you up with cookies and lemonade poolside, laughing, happy, energy, 6 to 8 a.m. The sun is rising. Where's our coffee, our breakfast? Let's have a great day. That's why the subject is so massive. The fact that they have no idea who it is yet, with all the technology that we have, with all the eyes in the sky, with all the civilians around, that we have no clue who it is. This guy, friend of mine, acquaintance at a higher level 3 agency government, who told me yesterday, about 30 to 40 minutes before it was announced that Charlie had passed. He says, I'm going with number 2, which is the Super Pro. And we haven't even gotten into that side of the situation yet today on the show because of everything that is going on. A 200 plus yard neck shot downward, a 1 in a million shot, or a Super Pro. And we still don't know who it is. Obviously, the White House has come out and talked. Director of the FBI, Kash Patel, has come out. Everybody's come out and had some sort of saying or something with it. But these are the things that are going on. These are some of the issues that we're talking about now. I'm just like, it blows me away. To know more about Charlie Kirk, he was asked in an interview how he wanted to be remembered. It's not long. Almost looked like he was taken aback when he was asked the question here. Linda says, so devastating. I had been resting yesterday early afternoon and shocked by the news. Yeah, I think everybody was. Whether you're a fan or not, cared about him, didn't like him, whatever, didn't agree with his politics, his whatever. But I love this question from this man on this podcast who asked him, Charlie Kirk, how do you want to be remembered?
We want to be remembered. If I die, everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
How do you want to be remembered?
Remembered for his faith. And not only did he talk it, he lived it. There are those who didn't understand, quote, his faith and thought that he was some mean guy. Charlie Kirk was not a mean guy, agree or disagree. He based things off scripture, and he's had many of those. And talking to people from that standpoint. We got to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. This show's getting really good right now. And it's all about you guys. Thank you for jumping in. Lots of people all over all of our social media platforms and on the radio. And it's not judging. This isn't about Republican, Democrat, Independent. If you've heard from our show, it's not about that. It's just about who he is, what he was, where are we in the country, the story. It's bigger on St. Louis, huge around St. Louis, the country and the world. It's also 9/11 Day. And in the midst of all that, we'll also remind you about some events that are coming up in our city this weekend. Greg says, amen, God bless. Paul says, yes, he did. Take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Arch City Now right after this. Yeah. And welcome back to the show, everybody. Here, Arch City Now, Vic Faust here, Pro Joe alongside. Glad you guys are with us. Broadcasting on a variety of platforms, channels, you name it. It's one of those days. It's 7:06. It's September 11th. Yes, it is 9/11 day as well, the 24th anniversary. And it doesn't make it a great day all the way around with everything that is going on. What we saw happen yesterday, and of course, 9/11 on top of it. Before we were going to break, we're talking about some things. We'll get into some events that are happening throughout the St. Louis area as well. And we appreciate you jumping in on Facebook, X, and YouTube. You can always check us out at luinfo.com as well. And everything that we do, all St. Louis related all the time. We also cover the stories that are making headlines throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area.
We are on air now.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, buddy.
Mhm.
So it's 7:06. Just jumping on the show. Do anything and everything that you want to talk with us today. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing the show. We just wish it was better news. I mean, it's 9/11. If you remember where you were, if you knew anybody that suffered from that standpoint that day, thoughts and prayers to them. And of course, what we saw happen yesterday in this country, which became massive news. And that's conservative pundit Charlie Kirk literally being assassinated. And there's a lot that's going on with that. And people talking about Republicans, Democrats, Independents coming together because of what happened. You should be able to agree to disagree with each other, listen to other people, have open minds, open conversations with education, with a sense of loving each other, or at least not loving each other, you don't have to, but respecting each other enough to listen where you are, what's going on in life, and so forth. As we were going to break, and JNTX says, not trying to sound like a bad arse, but a 200-yard shot is not far. He's Marine Corps rifle range qualifications, 200, 400, 500 yards. However, JNTX, and I appreciate you jumping in, when a bad arse as well from a 3-letter agency that I know who's at a rifle range many days of the week or has spent 20 years in the profession that he is in tells me that a 200-plus yard neck shot downward is super lucky. And that's coming from some of the highest levels. And I'm not proficient in this area. I'm just telling you what this person told me.
I don't think you have to be trained to know that it's hard to hit a pinhead from 200 yards away, from 2 football fields away.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I mean, thank you for your service. And this person goes on to say, the fact that they have no idea who it is yet, with all the technology and all the civilians' cameras and eyes in the skies, that he'd go with probably a super pro as opposed to somebody who just got lucky. You don't get lucky from 200 and under the cover and nobody sees you. No,
and you get away.
The chances, just the realistic, logical chances of somebody being by themselves and doing this and not having a great idea of what they're doing and being successful in this evil, diabolical plan. Yeah, the chances are not on that side. They're just not. They are not on that side.
I don't know who's military, but I'm screaming military out.
Well, we'll figure that out. Paul says correct. He agrees with us from that standpoint. We are Arch City Now, and I appreciate you guys jumping in on the show. We were talking about all of these things that are happening today and where people are. There's still nobody caught with all those people around. We were also showing you clips of Charlie Kirk and who he was, whether you agreed or disagreed with his stances. This isn't a political show. This is just talking about a massive tragedy that people are talking about everywhere. I mean, I've seen it bringing most Republicans and Democrats together. And anytime there's a tragedy or a death, you can only hope that something good could come out of it, right? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when is enough enough? When can you actually listen to somebody else, disagree without trying to hurt somebody? I mean, you had the president shot at twice. He was actually hit once. And that was only, by FBI accounts, a miracle that he moved at the right time where a bullet flew through and didn't hit him side in the head. That's a fact. One of the other things that I really wanted to show respect to, too, about coming together is what the Yankees did last night. New York Stadium and the Yankees, Projo, put a video board picture of Charlie Kirk up. And this is, I mean, look at this. We're playing it for our viewers. Our listeners may not be able to hear it, but Projo, you can play it.
2 children is 31 years old. 2 children.
So the announcer talked about Charlie Kirk having 2 children after he was assassinated yesterday. But they put a picture of him up on the big screen at Yankee Stadium. I mean, how classy is that?
And they had a moment of silence, too.
And a moment of silence. And you know what? People came together. And if anybody knows what tragedy's like on this 9/11, it's New York City. I know New York City's had its issues and political things over the years, but damn, it's still the largest city in our country. It was the birthplace of America for all intents and purposes. And just big shout out to the Yankees for doing that last night with Charlie Kirk. A lot of class from the Yankees fans, or from the Yankee Stadium doing it, and how the crowd reacted as well. And last time I checked, New York was a mainstay for Democrats. Last time I checked. Greg checking in on the chat line. A friend, non-military, said that there are, quote, shoots like turkey shoots, but for more skilled people that compete to shoot the head of a match from 100, 200, 500 yards away. Yeah, so who knows? He showed a picture of a scope, and it looked like a telescope. Appreciate you jumping in and giving us your background from that standpoint. Greg. So where do you go from here? Where do you go from now? As we were talking about, a 31-year-old man assassinated, leaves behind a wife, kids, was arguably the most popular conservative pundit. And don't think for a second there were not plans or talks of him running for president when he became 35. Unlike Donald Trump, most in the party respected him, liked the way that he did things. How he was led by his faith, how he was willing to go have conversations. I mean, whether you liked the man or not, the thing that I found was most impressive was the fact that this guy, and it's a good lesson for all of us, he literally had this idea, let's go to college campuses and have debates with kids. I don't have a college degree, homeschooled, self-taught, but let's just go out and talk facts. And for years, people hated him on campus. The climate was not a comfortable one to walk into. Being attacked, things thrown at you, inserts hurled right and left, to be a point where the day that he's assassinated, tens of thousands of people showing up on campuses all across the country to support him. You set your mind to anything in life. I'm not even talking from his standpoint of just political, and you work it and you have passion and heart and you do things the right way, the sky's the limit. Now, I'm trying to find positive. I'm trying to find a ray of sunshine in what is a cloud of doubt from yesterday and a man losing his life and innocent women and a woman and children left behind because there were people that didn't like what he was saying. From the chat line, this is the saddest thing, a father of faith with 2 children and a wife. Unalived, assassinated. Glenn says in Utah, death by firing squad is still legal. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about that. I get it. There's anger, there's hurt, but
a lot of people
I know
that are calling for public hangings to come back.
I know. I just
this stuff's not going to stop until people are made examples of. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I know, and you're allowed. I'm not ready to go there, but I get it. I get where the sentiment is. I'm sick to my stomach about what happened yesterday, and the visuals really add to it. The sounds add to it. Him being carried off add to it. All of those things. We showed you what he said. He said he wanted to be remembered as a man of faith. He said that in a podcast. He also had a style and a way about doing it. And that's why I wanted to show you. And it's not that, like, oh, you have to listen to everything he says, but this is the way that he did things. The Yankees honored him at their game. And then here's a clip, and it doesn't matter. I don't think which clip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry to bug you on your phone.
No. I'm trying to work out some problems that we were having during the break.
So just an example of who Charlie Kirk is, and a lot of these videos of him over the years and talking and debating with college kids, who knows how popular they'll become in years to come.
Part of the problem, I think, with the hatred on trans people. It's really not that deep. Like, if someone wants to dress up however they want, that's totally fine.
Okay, so
and I think
I'm
that's
not
where the
preventing
hatred
you. I'm
comes
not preventing you from dressing
Yeah,
up like
yeah.
this. However,
Like-
let me ask you a question. I will
Go
flush
ahead,
this
go
out.
ahead.
So let's pretend you say you are a woman.
Yeah,
and
yeah, let's pretend.
I know you are a man, but I refuse to
But-
call you a woman.
Okay.
Who's the hateful one?
I would say you are. I mean, I wouldn't.
So
I
you're
wouldn't
going to
appreciate
force
it.
me and
I'm
shame
not
me?
forcing
No,
you
hold
to
on a
do
second.
anything, man.
I'm the hateful one.
It's really just like common courtesy.
It is
Is
never
it that much
common
effort?
courtesy to lie. You do
Okay.
not become a thing just because you say it, you are the thing.
So-
And guess what? Nobody in the history of the species that was born XX or born XY and transitioned is able to change their chromosomes. Every
Yeah.
one of your cells is coded either XX or XY.
But
And
that's
it is an
where-
insult to women everywhere in this audience and across the country that's saying that you could just wear makeup and dress like a woman, undergo surgery, that you magically become a woman. And it is the abolition of women and is the abolition of reality. And we see great unjust human suffering because of it.
You're part of the problem, I think, with the hatred on trans people. It's really not.
That's an example of Charlie Kirk and what he did. And whether you agree or disagree with him or his tone or whatever, the bottom line is nobody deserves to be assassinated.
And bottom line is that person came to talk to him. He didn't, go to that person's house or whatever,
And this is another aspect of what I was like. I was just always wanted throughout the St. Louis area where our friends, we talk about it. All of us have friends of all parties or parties that don't care or whatever, Republican, Libertarian, Democrats, whatever the case. I mean, we got to keep an open mind somehow and have educated conversations. Too many times people are just waiting to talk and they're not listening. They're just waiting for that chance to talk and just not being honest from an ethical standpoint or an educational standpoint. As we said earlier, you can't have any relationship in life unless you have truth first. You got to have truth. Once you have truth, then you can have respect. Then once you have respect, then you can have love. But you can't have any of the other ones before that. You just can't. From the chat line, Paul says, I feel like there are more working parts to this assassination, just like with Trump's first assassination attempt. Too many suspicious things are showing up on video. Time to wait and see how it all plays out. Yeah, that's what's interesting right now, Paul. Regardless of how you feel of what happened, you're talking about in 2025 with all of our technology and all of the video and people around, the person/people responsible still have not been brought into custody. It's 7:20 Central Time and they don't have anybody, at least that we know of. And many times, as you know, when it comes to police, they don't want to give all the information out sometimes to let it maybe catch somebody or give a suspect an idea of that they've been caught or what they're wearing or something of that nature. But this is a big, big deal. And how this has resonated across the country is just, I could honestly tell you this. If you would have told me that this was going to happen in advance, as sick as it is and as horrible it is to imagine and relive and think of the video that came out. If you told me this was going to happen in advance, that the response would be like it is from everybody, or not everybody, but most people, races, sexes, I would have said, no way. There's no way that the support would be there for Charlie Kirk.
Just want to say that in the upcoming days, let's keep an eye on Congress. While we're talking about Charlie and everything that happened, let's keep an eye on what's going on in Washington, too.
What do you mean? Where does that come from?
Well, because we're going to be focused on Charlie for a while, and we're not going to be watching the people who are making all the decisions for us. So we need to kind of keep an eye on that.
There just has to be some way. I mean, we had 2 attempts on a president, a president, 2 attempts on his life. One was successful, meaning he was hit. He was hit. He moved at the right time, as the FBI reports show, and it was not his FBI. And then now you have this. And I know too many people that I spoke to yesterday where it really affected people. And I've had a lot happen in my life, and sometimes I just become numb. I can just become numb to things.
That's where I'm at.
And it put me in a spot. Yes, well, I wasn't numb. I felt it, Projo.
Oh, I felt it in the beginning too.
If you go through a lot of things in your life, and people know this, sometimes you just become numb. It's like, wait a second, what's wrong? How can that not affect you? It's like, well, because I've been through stuff already.
Right. You kind of know how to flip
this
switches.
one. Yeah. And it's just like, yeah, you just trudge through. This one hit. I felt, and I still feel like most people do.
I literally couldn't see straight for a little bit. The world was spinning for a minute. Yeah.
We have shown some of the clips of who Charlie Kirk is. Most people knew, but you get an idea.
We have one more clip too, if you'd like.
It's 7:20. Yeah, we might. Okay, we'll play that now. Then, by the way, the 31-year-old Charlie Kirk was from Arlington Heights, Illinois, Chicago suburbs. Just to let people know, because I know we had a question from the chat line, and you can join us on Facebook, X, and YouTube. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Arch City. Now, by the way, Hot Take Central 2.0 follows us every day at 8 a.m. We promote them as well. Just kind of a weird show because every day we're about cookies and lemonade poolside. Happy, sunshine, rainbows. Let's have a great day. Life isn't like that all the time. And that's why we're reminiscing also on 9/11 day, asking for your stories and memories from that as well. But here's another example of Charlie Kirk and what he was doing on college campuses.
Why do you, as like a professional pundit, think it's fair to come to college campuses and debate like college freshmen? Like, doesn't that seem like kind of unfair to you?
Well, hold on. I mean, let's stop talking down to college kids. I'm talking to voters, right? This audience will determine the future of America. And as you could see with my first dialogue, I'm not here to be adversarial. We disagreed. I let him have his points in. And as far as the fair standpoint, I have no notes. You can go bring a professor. Why don't you go bring a professor and bring him up to the mic?
Okay.
Why don't you go find 5 professors that have PhDs? I didn't go to college. That's a fair fight, right? By the way, you guys are in college. I graduated high school. I'm not sure what your point is here. This is a free speech event. You could bring whoever you want. And also, you don't have to come up to the mic. But last thing I'll say is this is, don't think so low of college kids. You might, I don't. This audience will determine the future of Western civilization. And this audience might be drafted into a world war. It's time that we start talking to the next generation, not talking down to the next generation. And that's what we're doing.
Why?
And it doesn't matter what your message is. It's one of those things where you have to have the talks. And that's what separated Charlie Kirk with Turning Point. Going to where the people are and having conversations. You just don't show up without being educated yourself. You don't just show up without having an idea, or you get shown really fast. You do, because you're putting yourself out there. And this is what I loved about this whole concept. I'm going to put myself out there for anybody to come and rip me, ridicule me, make fun of me because I didn't go to college, all of these things, and then prove that because of the work, the time, the effort, and my humbleness, I'm going to show you and teach who I can. So that's why he was so popular. And like 95% of what I have seen, maybe even higher, maybe 98%, I've seen a unifying front. And from a lot of politicians too, that I know of in the St. Louis area. And that's why it's an interesting story. That's why these things are going on. There are people who hated him. And clearly there were people who feared him. And whoever feared him, or the people that feared him, and a possible presidential run in a few years, might have gotten what they wanted yesterday. So how do you feel about it? How do you talk to your kids about it? How are you talking with your family members, your friends, things of that nature? Because these things are all there. All of those things are, and that's what we've been talking about today. It's also 9/11 day. Today, the 24th anniversary. We always say, we remember, never forget what happened to this country that day. What happened in New York City? What happened at the towers? What people went through, the heroes from that day as well. All of those things that take place. It's all part of today as well. We're continuing to talk about that here. We take you to 8 o'clock because there's things that happen every now and then that bring a country together. And you just hope in the midst of all of our differences, somehow, some way, good can come out of it. But we all know how difficult it is to talk politics. And that's why we don't talk politics on Art City now. And this transcends it all. What happened yesterday, the assassination, and the whole point of it. It's like, really, where have we come in America in 2025 going into 2026?
I just hope somebody at Turning Point continues the tradition of what he was doing. I'm sure that that's what that was created for. However, I really hope that this continues.
Well, we just need conversations, regardless. Right. The more conversations, the better.
This can't scare us out of having conversations.
We just got to have the conversations. There's no doubt about that. No, I was not on WXYZ when 9/11 took place. I was actually in Columbia, Missouri at the time when that took place, on my way to Tulsa. Yeah, thank you. From the chat line, Charlie could make a debate on what's better, vanilla or chocolate ice cream. Very interesting. You're right. He could. He had a skill for debating. There is absolutely no doubt about that.
When you go to Cambridge and you take on the entire school, yeah,
he's one of the most influential educational speakers that this country's ever had when it comes to politics. Not even close. You want to debate that? You want to talk about that? Let's do that. Linda says, agree with Projo. Okay, we got to take a quick break. We're Art City Now. We are your Lou information station, live and on demand at louinfo.com. If you want to get in the chat line, do so now. X, Facebook, YouTube, Art City Now. And we can talk. We can also get that up there. Projo, do you want to run the phone number as well? Maybe somebody wants to jump in. It's always there if people want to jump in. But if you want to give us a call, you can do that as well. From that standpoint, besides jumping in on the chat line, the phone number to give us a call is 855-282-8255. We'll be back with more Art City Now right after this.
You've seen this. It's brand new. Are you online?
Oh, hey. Oh, so you're new here.
All right, let's get cracking.
Okay, then maybe you should check out our website.
You're insane.
Well, you download songs illegally from the internet.
LouInfo.com. LouInfo.com. The Lou Information Station. 590 AM KLIS, Wood River, St. Louis.
Our origin story begin.
Lunchtime just got a whole lot better at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. From mouth-watering wraps to loaded quesadillas to bold, flavor-packed sandwiches, Hot Shots has something fresh every single day, along with your favorite wings, burgers, and pizza that you know and love. And don't sleep on those Hot Shots tacos. Plus, if you gotta be in and out quick for lunch, Hot Shots has you covered every day starting at 11 a.m. Find your nearest Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill now at hotshotsnet.com. That's hotshotsnet.com.
Buddy.
What do you say, buddy? Man, life comes at you fast. 1 minute you're cruising home, the next flashing lights in your rear view. And that's when you need backup. With the Legal Buddy app, you can connect to a local attorney in seconds. Seconds? Not waiting days for a callback? Nope, right away. DWI, car accident, criminal charge, traffic ticket, Legal Buddy's got your back. So it's like having a lawyer in your pocket. Exactly. Someone ready to step in the moment you need them, no matter the situation. That's peace of mind. That's Legal Buddy.
We're always going to be buddies, right?
All right, where do I get this? Just download the Legal Buddy app at LegalBuddyApp.com. Register and use code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card. Nice. Tickets, accidents, legal trouble, you're covered. The Legal Buddy app, always on your side. Download it today. Enter code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Buddy, it don't get much better than this.
Yep. LouInfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen, 222-2222.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. A 5-week strike at Boeing Defense in the St. Louis area may soon be over. A tentative agreement's been reached between Boeing and the Machinists Union, and the union will vote on Friday. The proposed 5-year deal includes a 24% wage increase and a $4,000 ratification bonus. St. Louis police are asking for help identifying a man who stole from a man in a wheelchair August 25th. The suspect ran off after stealing a briefcase along Washington Avenue. Police have released a description and are urging anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. The medical examiner's office has identified Benjamin Bourbon of DeSoto as the man who died after being struck by a pickup while he was walking on the road on Highway 21 Tuesday morning. Missouri's fall colors may not be too vibrant. Experts say ongoing drought conditions are stressing trees across the state, and instead of vibrant reds and oranges, many leaves will turn brown or fall early. It'll be the 6th straight year Missouri has faced fall drought conditions. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Now, LouInfo.com weather, presented by STL Sports Central. Lewis Sports, anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. Really hot through the upcoming weekend. We're hitting 90 for the afternoon high today and sunny. Overnight looks clear, mid-60s, and then we're in the mid-90s for the afternoon high on Friday and lots of sunshine. For the upcoming weekend, we're expecting sunshine on Saturday, slight chance of a shower Sunday, and 90s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at LouInfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
STL Sports Central is St. Louis's first all-digital sports network, and it's easy to find on YouTube. Catch the Randy Carricker Show featuring Brooke Grimsley Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Videos and written content from Bernie Miklasz, Card Central 365 every day, plus post-game shows after every St. Louis sports team plays. It's all at your fingertips on YouTube and online at stlsportscentral.com. Check it out.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown and Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown and Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown and Crouppen now.
Back to more of Arch City Now with Vic Faust on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. We appreciate you joining us on this September 11th. It is 9/11 day, the 24th anniversary. Thank you for joining us. We're here, of course, every Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Normally, we're smiling, trying to be happy. As I said earlier, positivity, trying to get us started for the day, what's going on, the news, the headlines, where to have fun. Things change a little bit when it's 9/11, plus the assassination of an innocent man, of a husband, of a father, son, a brother. And you've seen his worth. All you have to do is go to social media and you'll see the response, as it should be, overwhelmingly positive for a man who is unlike we've ever seen. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen a debater of politics at 31 years of age, a man who didn't even go to college, homeschooled, self-taught, humble, whether you agree with the opinion or not. I'm not saying I agree with everything he said, but an icon, loved by all conservatives. Donald Trump even loved him, and Donald Trump didn't have the support of all Republicans. Donald Trump just was so massive. The Trump train comes through. You get on it or you get run over. Charlie Kirk had a different way about him. It's a different way. Where he commanded respect from all factions of the party. And if you don't understand politics, there are different factions within the parties. You may call yourself a Republican, but you're a different kind of Republican. Or Democrat, Libertarian, whatever the case. This is a man who in some private circles was talked about running for president. Can't do that until you're 35. But he literally started this in his early 20s and grew at Turning Point. I mean, if you're a business person, I mean, it's iconic what he did. Literally, it's iconic. The concept, the business plan, executing daily business principles to grow something as big as it did. People who are around him, that's what you start to find out. People who are around, people can cast judgment on you, but if they're not around you all the time, or they may think that they know you, or they say, oh, well, he said this or she said that. But if you're not around somebody every day, you have no right to say anything about somebody else. You don't. You have to be around somebody all the time to truly know them. And the people who are around Charlie Kirk every day truly knew him. And that's why they talked in the response that they did. Republicans, Democrats, all sexes, races, all coming out in the support of what it should be. And I just get so sad thinking about a wife who lost her husband and kids who lost their dad. And we as a country going, wait a second, is this who we are in 2025? If you don't like somebody, you just go try to take them out. Respect the president or not, 2 attempts on his life, 1 hit him. And then Charlie Kirk no longer with us after just a brutal, nasty, grotesque, I use the word diabolical attack that took his life because they didn't. And now we're starting to get some of the ideas of, why? I mean, literally, why? Why can't they find who did it? Why? Doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, not at all. And another thing, I think that this might be overshadowing that I think that Charlie wouldn't want it to overshadow is what happened to Irna as well.
Yeah, well, he was talking about that the day before.
Right.
We're talking about the Ukrainian woman stabbed.
Yep. He would not want people to forget about that and for this to overshadow that.
Yeah, but the debates are what? And the Turning Point debates, which were iconic. I hate talking about the negative side of it, but Matthew Dodd, political analyst, was fired from MSNBC for alleging that he was responsible for his own undoing, if you can imagine that. TMZ, by the way, when they were announcing it, had people laughing and cheering. They came back on later and they said, oh, they were watching a police chase. It had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. Maybe not. Those things are not fun to be talking about, not fun to be doing.
Why are you laughing at a police chase anyway?
I don't know. You know what though? You know what? I could see it, Pro Joe, if they're telling the truth. I could see it. If somebody's like, whoa, I mean, I remember being in newsrooms.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, my God, look, he's driving down the side street. I could see that. I could see that. But in a somber day, when you've already gotten the news, yeah, no, I get it. You just have to have that respect. Like my son was scheduled, he was supposed to post some recruiting video yesterday, for his football. I'm like, let's hold off in honor and respect of what's, he's like, I agree. I'm like, all right, good. We're raising a good son. He gets it. But where is America now? What happens? Is this something that just goes by the wayside that we forget? We talk about it being 9/11. Should never, ever, ever, ever forget what happened in America. It's 24 years now away. There are aspects that we've forgotten about. How will Charlie Kirk be remembered? I mean, it's fresh. Certainly when you listen to some of the commentators on TV, we'll see. From the chat line, Donna says, news saying it was easy to get away from that area. The airport only 5 minutes away. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I'm just telling you the story that I was. The 3-letter agency contact of mine telling me that it was a super shot downhill from where they were. And to be able to get away, this one person says, no way this was by chance. No way it was just some commoner. This was an expert. It was a team, something of that nature. And why? Why? Because people get upset? Was he going to be president someday? It makes me think back to JFK stuff. It really does. Where we have the video. I know it's a sitting president. And he was on pace to maybe have to make and be one of the most influential presidents we've ever had with some of the things that were going on at the time. If you look at your history and break it all down. And then now we're sitting back and talking about it. But at the end of the day, we have to. And I'm not just one to say, oh, we all have to love each other. Somebody brought that up earlier in the chat line. What does it mean to really love? You can't have love without truth. You have to. And you can't tell people. Love is not telling somebody what they want to hear.
And you can't love somebody.
Love is telling somebody what they need to hear.
I should say you can't trust somebody unless love is reciprocated.
Can you repeat that?
You cannot trust somebody unless love is reciprocated.
Okay. I mean, there's people who I trust in issues that I'm not worried about love. I don't think they love me.
I'm just
trust
saying
them.
There are other people on the other side of this, and loving them is going to be tough. It's okay to love them, but if it's not reciprocated, it's going to be hard.
No, I get it. Okay. All right. If you weren't with our show earlier, I just wanted to add it in too, just a little bit. Charlie Kirk was asked how he wanted to be remembered. And it's kind of telling. Literally, if he wasn't alive, literally asked that question. So we'll play that for you now. I was like, are you so enthralled with my talk?
Yeah, I'm
you were just
deep
looking
in
at
thought
me.
over here. Yeah.
Well, good. Then we're doing our job.
One of those days.
If I die, everything just goes away. How would you, if you could be associated with one thing, how would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
How do you want to be remembered?
Charlie Kirk
if I
will be
die,
remembered for courage for his faith. It's just interesting when he was asked that question, and then now we're having to show it because he did go meet his maker yesterday. There is absolutely no doubt about that. And some call him a martyr. He stood for the faith. He lived the scripture, whether you believe it or not. He lived the biblical scripture.
He walked the walk.
He did walk the walk, and he talked the talk, and he did it in public. And that's where it gets interesting. And he challenged people. If you challenge anyone in life, or if you challenge the mainstream, if you challenge anything, you're going to have a rocky road. It's not going to be, as I say, cookies and lemonade, pool sign, sunshine and rainbows and happiness for everybody. It's not. And it's not supposed to be that way. Now, you can choose to be quiet and just say, oh yeah, just whatever. And that's fine. And then your road will be less rocky. But if you're trying to do something and make a difference and a change for something that you feel is right, and you feel you have a backing behind you, which is what he did, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Greg says, I'd like to chime in. I'd like to be remembered as a kind and loving man, weird and funny, but a kind, loving man. I would give you that. I would start with weird first and then go to loving and kind. I'm kidding. Sorry. Kind of kidding. But it's good. Weird in an affectionate way. We are Arch City Now. We're here Monday through Fridays, by the way. 6 to 8 a.m. Different kind of show today. As we take you into Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jim the Cat Hayes. By the way, the Blues get ready to kick off their preseason. That's coming up September 20th in 9 days. Cardinals last night got swept by the Seattle Mariners, played 13 innings. That game ended way deep into the night. They lost 4-2 from that standpoint. NFL back in action tonight. Thursday Night Football, week 2 beginning already. Remember to get your picks in. Looks like it's a good game too. Washington Commanders at the Green Bay Packers. Both teams 1-0. It's on Prime tonight as well. So if you're looking for some more NFL action tonight, you got those two teams going at it. All I'll say is go Commanders. Sorry to my Commander fans, my Packer friends out there. I'm a Lions fan and we lost. We got to stay close in the division. I'm sure you can understand that, right? Okay. Evolution Fest, by the way, getting ready to come to town. That's in a couple weeks. In 2 weeks, get your tickets as well. Get ready for that. Sublime and Lenny Kravitz headlining the Saturday and Sunday shows, plus tons of other groups that'll be hitting the stage. Always a fantastic time in St. Louis. Also, remember, Steve Shankman and crew and everybody that put that together are donating $100,000 to the United Way for tornado victims of the St. Louis area. And a lot of that cleanup and a lot of that work, a lot of that heartache is still going on out there. So we appreciate you doing that. Tony jumping in, the pack with 2 exclamation points. I know. I hear you. You're a pack attack, man. I get it. It's all good. We'll love to go against each other when it comes to our division. You can also share your favorite Charlie Kirk clip with your friends to keep the conversations alive, as we have shown you who he was, what he was. We showed you some of those clips throughout the day too, just about how you could talk, how he would be able to share stories and do some of those things. Projo, I wouldn't mind showing the first clip that we ran today with Charlie, if you can find it, if we haven't deleted it yet, just as a respectful nod to Charlie in regards to what his mission was with Turning Point. And I really like this one.
I think this
it is. No, this is the one we're going to show, and I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Just another example of Charlie Kirk, who he was, and why so many people respected him, even people that may not have liked him or agreed with all of his thoughts, just the way that he could say things.
Marriage actually comes before your kids. I know that's a provocative thing to say, but it's true. Your relationship with your kids is important.
Yes.
But it's not covenantal. Your marriage is a covenant. Your relationship with your kids is an outgrowth of a covenant. They're under your stewardship, but covenantal relationships are ones that we saw with Abraham and David and Israel and, of course, Jesus. That idea of marriage being a covenant is a big, big deal. In fact, only marriage in the Bible is compared to Christ's relationship with the church. Your marriage actually...
Another way of how he could put points together. Just so intelligent. Things thought out. Thoughts put in a way that people can understand. It's always good when you can connect A to B, B to C, C to D. And feelings not being a part of it. Truth. Facts first, then feelings. Because as we said, you can't have any truth, or you can't have any relationship or love or respect unless you have truth first. There has to be truth. Without truth, there's nothing. Without trust, there's nothing. And Charlie Kirk today being remembered by so many across the country. And of course, you jumping in on the chat line. We appreciate it. It's been a fast show already. We appreciate everybody jumping in on the show. X, YouTube, and Facebook is where you can do that. Once again, it's X, YouTube, and Facebook. Join the conversation. Talk with us. Thoughts, memories. 9/11 day as well. Today, the 24th anniversary of 9/11. Beautiful, warm, sunny day in the St. Louis area, but a couple of those stories, not so great. It overshadows some of the things that are going on, but such is life. There's ups and downs, there's twists, there's turns all the way around. And that's why we've enjoyed talking about some of these things. Now, the bottom line at the end of the day in all of this conversation is the fact that unfortunately, somehow, some way, you've got a shooter, a person or people who have yet to be brought in, who have yet to be in custody. Somehow, some way, that has not happened. And it's also interesting to me because I felt at one point in time, I'm not trying to upset anybody, but FBI Director Kash Patel, I think he said that they had a suspect in custody, but they didn't. That's not good. It's not a great look. And it reeks of, we have no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Well, Charlie Kirk wasn't I don't think he could qualify to have Secret Service. However, he probably should have had Secret Service with what he was doing.
No, he wouldn't have qualified for Secret Service. No.
Right. So that's basically what was needed.
No, but he knew. You don't think he had those threats?
No, he knew. Yeah, he knew this was
there
a
are many pundits who, Republican, Democrat, whatever, have threats on their life.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. The problem is you get so many of them, they become
right.
Kind of, right. You brush them off. It's like, okay, another attempt on my life or another threat. But it's always in the back of your mind. And somehow, some way, the manhunt intensifies to try to find who did this, a suspect or suspects. All that was being reported now is looking for somebody, quote, in all dark clothing. And to each their own, like I said, a person who I know that works with a 3-letter agency at a higher level told me it was a 200-yard downhill shot in the neck that was one of two things. This isn't me saying this. This is somebody from this agency. There's a lot of experience and does it on a daily basis. 1, it was the most lucky shot ever, or 2, it was an absolute pro.
I'd be willing to bet by the time they got off the roof, too, they weren't wearing those black clothes. They had those clothes off by the time they got off the roof.
And these are conversations that are going all around St. Louis. They are. Yeah. They're happening. That's why we were talking about today. And then the second part of that is you see this happen. Okay. Why haven't they been able to find somebody yet? So you combined the percentages of a shot like that happening with the fact that you still can't find somebody. Very bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when the president was shot, that was literally very easy to find right there.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, there's an all hands on deck approach going with the services of our country that are looking for this person. And it is ironic that Charlie Kirk breathes his last breath on a college campus doing what he loved. Turning Point USA, the same thing that made him so popular, where he gained notoriety, is also where he meets his end.
How poetic is the name Turning Point at this point?
Well, maybe it could be. Yeah, I just saw it from the chat line. Kash Patel looking inept at this point in time. Greg says, I wonder how people are going to react to the flags flying half staff. Yeah, nice gesture by Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe, flying flags at half staff in Missouri now.
Well, I think Trump actually ordered or announced that everybody.
Well, Governor Kehoe did too.
Right.
Tanya says, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Memories of 9/11 as well today. The idiot was a pro. She's talking about the person who pulled the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And you know now that every event people will be scanning rooftops for shooters. Well, I would hope so. I thought that was already going on.
Yeah, I would hope that. I don't know
but
why
maybe,
people weren't
but
doing
maybe
it
for
there.
political figures, but not for a pundit.
Right.
Not for somebody who's just going to college campuses.
Yeah, but man, they had to have known. I mean, they had to have known.
Tanya, I don't know if I agree. The news blames Trump administration. You may have some that try to politicize this, and God bless their souls if they're doing that. Nobody should be doing that at a time like this. You may have different reports say this and say that, but most of the response that I've seen, like an overwhelming response, has been people in unison that how could this happen? This should not happen. Condemning it as it should be. No violence on people for speaking their mind ever. Because that's the last thing that we need in this country. Not even close. But it is a sad day, or sad this morning. It's sickening for what happened. And then, of course, that combined with 9/11. We'll have our free-for-all, free-for-all Friday show tomorrow. But obviously, these kinds of things, you just don't turn your back on. So that's why we did. It was a great show. We appreciate you guys being with us. Any final thoughts, Projo?
God bless America.
Yeah, good way. Absolutely. And just if you believe in prayer, pray for his wife and his kids who don't have him around anymore, and his family and his parents and his sister who lost a person. Guys, we appreciate you being with us today. Thank you so much for joining us for Arch City Now. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Thank you for all the support that you give us here. archcitynow@gmail.com is how you can reach us. And we're turning it over right now to the former Blue, Cam Jansen, Jim the Cat Hayes. That may get you a little bit more excited. Blues' first preseason game coming up in about 9 days. God bless America. Arch City Now does it. I'm Vic Faust for Projo. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.
The Maddie Festival and Conference is back. September 12th through the 14th in the Grand Center Arts District. 3 days, 15 stages, and